The Calgary Flames have signed veteran defenseman Jarred Tinordi to a one-year deal, and this could end up being a sneaky good signing, but probably not for the reason you're thinking of. The Calgary Flames now have an abundance of defensemen heading into training camp, so it begs the question, who is going to make the team on defense? We're going to try and answer this question and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. I sincerely appreciate each and every single one of you, but let's hop in to Flames signing Tinordi, and yes, probably wasn't the signing most people were anticipating, to be honest, because look, the Flames already have a lot of defensemen, and with the recent news of Tyson Barrie signing a PTO, it's interesting to bring in yet another defenseman when we know we have, honestly, a plethora of good young defensemen down the pipeline. But let's get into the signing itself, give it the light of day it deserves. So we'll be taking a look at this article to kind of be the bones of this video, whereas I'll add the meat, of course. But Steve McFarland from the Hockey News wrote this article here. So Flames add another veteran presence to defensive core, defensive crops, if you are a fan of the channel. Calgary Flames add Jarred Tinordi to depth chart with 1 year, two-way deal. Let's hop in. The Calgary Flames lost half of their starting defense last season, but in terms of quantity, the organization continues to add. They brought in another veteran presence for training camp by inking Jarred Tinordi to a 1 year, two-way deal. Tinordi had 9 points and 64 penalty minutes in 52 games with the Chicago Blackhawks last season, but has been well traveled over his NHL career. The 32-year-old has played in more than 200 NHL games with the Habs, Arizona Coyotes, the Predators, the Bruins, the Rangers, and the Blackhawks, and now the Calgary Flames, the best of the bunch. And just, if we're talking about statistics here, he is not an offensive guy. You see the 9 points in 52 games last season. I think in about those 200 plus games he's played in his career, he has something like 4 total NHL goals. So not an offensive defenseman, more of a defensive defenseman, and obviously a veteran at this point, kind of has some leadership aspects to his game. It's unlikely he makes what has become a very long list of potential NHL blue liners in Calgary, but with so many organization losses on the leadership front, the team has been looking for experienced mentors during the rebuild. The Flames were speaking with former captain Mark Giordano's agent, Rich Winter, this summer, but nothing materialized there. Tinordi has twice been captain in the AHL and could wear a letter with the Flames AHL affiliate Calgary Wranglers this year. And that's what it really boils down to. It's not a sneaky good signing because he can help at the NHL level, help the Flames win games. No, it is more so a sneaky good signing because of the leadership he brings, especially if it's down at the AHL level. He's familiar with the AHL, and that's not a shot at him. That's just how his career has gone. But he has proven that he can be a good mentor at the AHL level, a good leader at the AHL level. And if we're signing him to a 1 year, two-way contract, you can definitely expect more or less for him to be in the AHL. Who knows? He could make the team out of camp. He could play some NHL games this season. But the leadership he will provide for the other young defensemen at the AHL level, guys like Hunter Brustevich, maybe even Poirier, younger guys who could use a good mentor. I know those guys are offensive defensemen and Tinordi's a defensive defenseman. So if you're totally looking at just defensive guys, look at guys like Solovyov. There's so many different defensemen that could take something out of Tinordi being on the Wranglers and being that veteran presence that they need, especially with all that experience at the AHL level. So it's a really good signing in that way. It was very cheap. Who knows? He could come up to the NHL level and then bada bing, bada boom. We got a good signing because it turned into NHL minutes. But either way, a very safe signing here and not a bad signing at all. More so for the leadership, veteran presence, and mentorship he can provide some of our younger guys. But like I said before, it does kind of beg the question, who makes the team on D this season? As we know, the Flames have so many defensemen in the depth chart right now. There are tons. And the way it's kind of structured is like this. So it's anchored by MacKenzie Weegar and Rasmus Andersson. The Flames' defense has plenty of question marks heading into the new season. As far as the rest of the top six, Demil Miramanov looked promising late last season but has little NHL experience. Kevin Ball is coming off his first full season with the Devils. Jake Bean was brought in to replace Shillington, but hasn't yet lived up to his perceived potential. And Braden Pahal offers hard work and decent depth. So that's kind of the remaining four you can talk about in there. Miramanov, Ball, Bean, and Pahal. Interesting that it's, kind of formulated that way, but that is honestly the way it is. The team is hoping to get the best from Miramanov and Bean offensively. Joel Hanley would be in the mix for the top 7, along with Tyson Barrie if he can translate his PTO into an NHL deal. Other prospects with high hopes for more time with the Flames include Ilya Solovyov, Jeremy Poirier, and Hunter Brustevich. So already so many players going for just 6 roster spots. And we already know that really, when it boils down to it, 4 or 5 of those spots are guaranteed to already be taken. So it's a lot of guys fighting for that 6th spot, maybe a 7th spot that the Flames usually carry around, and then, kind of the top of the AHL guys most likely to be called up if there is reason to be, whether it's performance or injury or whatever, however it gets related to that. But either way, very, very interesting there. As you can see, it was officially confirmed that Tyson Barrie has signed a PTO with the Calgary Flames, which honestly, I would assume he is the man who would, out of the rest of the people we're talking about here, he's the man who would make the team, whether in a 6th or 7th D-man role. He probably can provide more than maybe some of our other offensive defensemen like a Miramanov or a Jake Bean. Would I rather see him in there than them? I'm not too sure because Barrie might not be in our plans for the future. But either way, I think Barrie kind of has the best shot out of all those guys. And now that he has officially signed to a PTO, there's a good chance of this happening. And I also wanted to look at here. So our prospect pool ranks, NHL Discussion actually ranked the Flames at number 10 in the league, which is pretty good because last year they gave us 18th. So not only are we in the top half of the league now, but technically top 10 as well. And I just wanted to show that they think our top prospect, pretty much all of us do, think that Zane Parekh is our number 1 prospect. And we can't forget about him. There's probably no chance that, he'll kind of play more than whatever it is to not burn a year off the contract, more than 9 games this season for the Flames, but there's a chance he could come up. And then you see they put Brustevich at number 4 as well. So guys like that are kind of, in the mix a little bit as well. Very interesting to see if they have a shot out of training camp, but there are so many names we can throw in here of guys who could come up and play D for the Flames this season. If I were to guess, it would of course be Andersson and Weegar, guaranteed there in the team. Miramanov, Ball, pretty much guaranteed as well. Jake Bean, maybe Pahal. If we look at what Daily Faceoff has our defense pairings listed as right now, it is Weegar with Miramanov, Ball with Andersson, Bean with Pahal. No Barrie, no Hanley, no Solovyov, none of the young offensive guys. I know there's more names I'm missing, but well, of course, Jarred Tinordi now. But either way, interesting that is how it stacks up as of now. But any of those names could be replaced by one of those other guys. Very, 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 very interesting. But either way, the Tinordi signing, I'm not mad at it. I think it's pretty good. It could be sneaky good more at the AHL level than at the NHL level. But let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do. And this one I thought was just a good question overall that a lot of us should be asking ourselves. And it comes from Mike. And Mike says, it's going to be a long season. Who's going to be your favorite other team? And I'm assuming he's kind of asking the general public here. I'm going to answer for myself, but I'd also love to know what you guys think down below. Who's kind of your second team going into this season? Everyone who knows me personally actually knows that I'm also a huge fan of the Ottawa Senators. I really like the Sens as well. Do I think their chances are all that great this year? No, I don't. But they will always be my other team in a way, so I will be supporting them hard. But very interesting to see what other people think down below. I know the overwhelming response is always, my favorite team is the Flames. Second favorite is whoever is playing the Oilers, which I also completely agree with. But either way, let me know down below who you will be supporting, kind of in a secondary role this season. I know Flames are first and foremost for all of us, but just want to know what other teams are in the mix this year. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like we saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.